Horizon Facility. Deep in the northern wilderness lies an abandoned installation known only by its code name, Horizon. Officially, it does not exist. It appears on no maps, it exists in no public records. Even in restricted archives, only fragments of information remain. According to the surviving documents, the facility was built in the late 1970s as a highly classified communications and surveillance complex. After construction was completed, it operated for only a short time. Then it was shut down and sealed. Since then, the site has remained abandoned for decades, without maintenance, without personnel, without official access. But that is where the strange part begins. A group of researchers interested in abandoned and anomalous locations decided to reach the facility despite its remote location and restricted status. After a long journey through the forest, they finally arrived. And immediately it became clear that the place was not simply abandoned. It seemed frozen in time. The buildings were still standing, but heavily deteriorated. The metal structures were covered in deep rust. The windows had long been shattered. Inside lay thick layers of dust and signs of decades of neglect. Yet something felt wrong. There were no signs of gradual decay. Instead, it looked as though everything had stopped at a single moment, as if the entire facility had simply been switched off. The researchers began their survey. Inside the control room, they discovered old shift logs. The final entries appeared routine: equipment inspections, communication line tests, signal monitoring reports. But near the end, the entries became repetitive. The same sentence appeared again and again. The signal has returned. No explanation, no context, just repetition. The final entry was barely legible, as though it had been written in a hurry. "It is not our signal." The journal ended there. The facility should not have had power. Every system had supposedly been disconnected decades earlier. Yet when the researchers entered the central operations hall, they found equipment that appeared to be active. Not fully operational, but active enough to suggest that something was still running. One device emitted a slow green blink, a weak indicator light, as if the system had never completely shut down. Then a sound came from the speakers. Not a voice. At first it was only noise, deep, unstable, like distant radio interference. But gradually the noise began to form patterns, and within it emerged something resembling speech. The voice sounded distorted, too slow, too steady, as though it was not being spoken live. The researchers began recording, and then they noticed something unusual. The sound never became louder or quieter. It simply existed, as though its source was neither inside nor outside the building. After several seconds, the noise abruptly stopped. Silence filled the room. Then the speaker activated once more. A short transmission, a clear phrase: "The facility is still active." A pause. Then a second sentence, quieter than the first. "Why did you come here?" But that was not the most troubling part. The real mystery is that Horizon has officially been considered abandoned for decades, and no record has ever documented its reactivation, or even confirmed that it was ever completely shut down at all.